Generalized anxiety disorder is a mental and behavioral disorder, specifically an anxiety disorder characterized by excessive, uncontrollable and often irrational worry about events or activities. Worry often interferes with daily functioning, and sufferers are often overly concerned about everyday matters such as health, finances, death, family, relationship concerns, or work difficulties. Symptoms may include excessive worry, restlessness, trouble sleeping, exhaustion, irritability, sweating, and trembling. Symptoms must be consistent and ongoing, persisting at least 6 months. For a formal diagnosis of GAD, individuals with GAD often suffer from other disorders including other psychiatric disorders, substance use disorder, obesity, and may have a history of trauma or family with GAD. Clinicians use screening tools such as the GAD-7 and GAD-2 questionnaires to determine if individuals may have GAD and warrant formal evaluation for the disorder. Additionally, sometimes screening tools may enable clinicians to evaluate the severity of GAD symptoms. GAD is believed to have a hereditary or genetic basis, but the exact nature of this relationship is not fully appreciated. Genetic studies of individuals who have anxiety disorders suggest that the hereditary contribution to developing anxiety disorders is only approximately 30 to 40%, which suggests that environmental factors may be more important to determining whether an individual develops GAD. The pathophysiology of GAD implicates several regions of the brain that mediate the processing of stimuli associated with fear, anxiety, memory, and emotion. It has been suggested that individuals with GAD have greater amygdala and medial prefrontal cortex activity in response to stimuli than individuals who do not have GAD. However, the relationship between GAD and activity levels in other parts of the frontal cortex is the subject of ongoing research, with some literature suggesting greater activation in specific regions for individuals who have GAD, but where other research suggests decreased activation levels in individuals who have GAD as compared to individuals who do not have GAD. Treatment includes psychotherapy, a first-line psychological and pharmacological treatments. Other options include selective norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, exercise, therapeutic massage, and other interventions have been studied. Estimates regarding prevalence of GAD or lifetime risk for GAD vary depending upon which criteria are used for diagnosing GAD, although estimates do not vary widely between diagnostic criteria. In general, ICD-10 is more inclusive than DSM-5. So estimates regarding prevalence and lifetime risk tend to be greater using ICD-10. In regard to prevalence, in a given year, about 2% of adults in the United States and Europe have been suggested to suffer GAD. However, the risk of developing GAD at any point in life has been estimated at 9.0%. Although it is possible to experience a single episode of GAD during one's life, most people who experience GAD experience it repeatedly over the course of their lives as a chronic or ongoing condition. GAD is diagnosed twice as frequently in women as in men. The diagnostic criteria for GAD as defined by the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders DSM-5, published by the American Psychiatric Association, are paraphrased as follows. Note that in children, only one of the above items is required. No major changes to GAD have occurred since publication of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Minor changes include wording of diagnostic criteria. The 10th revision of the International Statistical Classification of Disease provides a different set of diagnostic criteria for GAD than the DSM-5 criteria described above. In particular, ICD-10 allows diagnosis of GAD as follows. See ICD-10 F41.1 note. For children, different ICD-10 criteria may be applied for diagnosing GAD. The American Psychiatric Association introduced GAD as a diagnosis in the DSM-3 in 1980. When anxiety neurosis was split into GAD and panic disorder, the definition in the DSM-3 required uncontrollable and diffuse anxiety or worry that is excessive and unrealistic and persists for 1 month or longer. High rates in comorbidity of GAD and major depression led many commentators to suggest that GAD would be better conceptualized as an aspect of major depression instead of an independent disorder. Many critics stated that the diagnostic features of this disorder were not well established until the DSM-3R. Since comorbidity of GAD and other disorders decreased with time, the DSM-3R changed the time requirement for a GAD diagnosis to 6 months or longer. The DSM-IV changed the definition of excessive worry and the number of associated psychophysiological symptoms required for a diagnosis. Another aspect of the diagnosis the DSM-IV clarified was what constitutes a symptom as occurring often. The DSM-IV also required the